As the Israel-Hamas war rages on, more people are being pushed from their homes in North Gaza, fearful they may never return again. Now, a group of Israelis, including members of the current government, believe it's their right to replace them. Our Britt Clennett has that story in tonight's Prime Focus.
Building their huts, making their meals, praying. It's a makeshift community on Israeli soil, less than a mile from the Gaza border, with a setup they intend to recreate soon inside Gaza itself.
We are here now. We don't want to really be here. We want to be in there.
Amos Azaria is one of hundreds of Israelis from the far right who are actively aiming to settle permanently in Gaza. The UN says 90% of Palestinians have been displaced in Gaza since Hamas's deadly attack on October 7th. Amos and his group would like to replace them entirely.
If you move in, where do they go?
This is our land. We're supposed to move in regardless of what they do. What's really supposed to be done with them is that they should go to anywhere in the world that supports them. Maybe there's an open...
For now, the group waits. The father of 7 adamant that they will get into Gaza one way or another.
But it is extremely dangerous in Gaza right now.
Well,
would you want to take your whole family in there?
Not all Gaza is dangerous, and I'm much more worried what will happen if we will not be there. Yeah, this is the kitchen. As you see, we have here water coming from up there. Right here we have the solar panels. I don't know if you noticed, that give us electricity.
Right.
Powers the refrigerator.
It says it was donated by someone from California.
Yeah, that's right.
Israel used to have settlements in the north of the Gaza Strip. They disengaged in 2005, dismantling dozens of settlements and removing thousands of Israelis from Gazan territory. But now, Amos and his group have the endorsement from far-right members of the Israeli government. Just last month, far-right members of the Israeli government were involved in this gathering at the border.
אנחנו יכולים לחזור הביתה ואנחנו יכולים לעשות עוד דבר, לעודד הגירה. האמת היא שזה הפתרון הכי מוסרי, הכי נכון, לא בכפייה, אבל להגיד להם, אנחנו נותנים לכם את האפשרות, לכו מכאן לארצות אחרות, ארץ ישראל שלנו.
Across that border, flanked by IDF tanks, columns of displaced Gazans make their journey south. More than 50,000 forcibly evacuated since a renewed ground offensive began on October 1st, travelling on foot, carrying everything they have left. Just days ago, 26-year-old Uday Al-Tawam fled the urban refugee camp of Jabalia with his mother and sister.
أنا قررت إني أغادر شمال غزة ما ضلش إشي لا أكل ولا فلوس الواحد يجيب أكل ولا حياة ولا بيت ضل صالح الواحد يقعد فيه في قطاع غزة ولا بيت ضل الواحد يسكن فيه ولا مدارس اللواء أصلاً مدارس اللواء صار يتم استهدافها كل يومين 3 ينزلوا مدرسة بجد شعور صعب جداً إنه أنت ما ترجعش على بيتك ولا على أرضك إحنا هانا دوب الواحد من الضيق والخنقة وكترة الناس بصير كل يوم مشاكل وكل يوم ضرب ومشاكل وقتل يعني إحنا بدنا نرجع على بلادنا بأي وسيلة.
Displacement, he says, means he now relies on the mercy of others.
كله انحرق ما ضلش ولا حاجة زي هيك يعني أنا إلي 3 أيام عيان من يوم ما جيت عيان من السقعة والبرد اللي هانا يعني إحنا على البحر هانا الريح بخبط خبط في الليل زي الثلج.
Israeli airstrikes have continued to pummel Gaza's north, where they say Hamas has regrouped. At least 93 killed in this strike on October 29th that flattened a 5-story building. Dead bodies lining the streets in the aftermath, 25 children amongst the dead. The target, the IDF told ABC News, was a man with binoculars. Only a trickle of aid has entered Gaza's north since the offensive began. The UN warning Israel's actions are aimed at creating conditions of life that are very likely to result in emptying North Gaza of its civilian Palestinian population by death or forcible transfer. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel does not plan to reoccupy the Gaza Strip, saying resettlement is off the table and unrealistic. At a viewing point from their camp, Amos shows me where we can see Gaza in the distance. I ask him how it makes him feel every time he sees Gaza.
Basically, when we see Gaza, I see, okay, the Jews are supposed to be there, and we should we should act more so that the Jews return to their homeland. Again, it's essential to avoid any massacre like happened to us on October 7th.
So you see it and you see home.
Yeah.
What about when you see the bombing?
More often I hear than see, but if it's us bombing them, I say, okay, good, the army is doing its job.
Until recently, the idea of Israelis living in Gaza seemed a world away. But with so much uncertainty about Israel's plan for the Strip, for some, resettlement is within their sights.
So much uncertainty. Our thanks to Britt Clennett for that.